How often should you post on your blog in order to grow it? I'm going to be answering that question in today's video. Hi, my name is Susie and I'm a six-figure blogger sharing all my blogging tips and tricks with you so you can have the same success. Okay, I get this question all the time. How often should I be posting on my blog in order to grow it? And I think you might be surprised in this video my answer to it. So allow me to explain. So it really comes down to what you can commit to and how many times you think you can actually post before you set out and decide on how many times you're going to post for your blog. I see so many people in the beginning commit to posting 2 to 3 times a week on their blog, and that's just a big mistake in my opinion. Here's why. Blog posts take a lot of time to write. You're not going to be able to create a blog post within an hour. I know, so sad, sorry to burst your bubble, but it's going to take a lot of effort, time, and research before you actually write a post and to make sure it actually will rank. Because you want your post to actually be SEO friendly, to include all the details, and to have it be really, really good content. You want it better than your competition. So in order to do this, it's going to take time to write it. So you can't just whip out a blog post and hope that it, does something. You want to make sure it's the best of the best. And in order to do this, you're going to want to make sure you include a lot of different components. So I'm going to walk you through all the components that you're going to want to do before you even write down your blog post or start writing it. These are things that you're going to want to do from the get-go and that you'll have to do before you even publish your blog. So it just is going to help you think about how much time it's going to take you to write a blog post. And then from there, you can actually figure out how many times a week you'll want to post. So number one, before you even start your blog post, you're going to have to do keyword research. This is going to make sure you know exactly what you need to write about, making sure it's SEO friendly, that you can actually rank for it possibly, and you'll know all the things to include, like what questions people are asking, you want to answer those. It'll just be a lot of time spent on figuring out what your keyword is. From there, you're going to create a blog post content outline. So the content outline really helps you figure out like what your headings should be, what details you need to include. You're going to even include the questions like I mentioned earlier that people are asking. You're going to include the answers in that and like where they should go. It's going to have, your introduction and your ending and in between all of the points that you want to cover. So that way, when you actually sit down to write your content, it's going to be so much easier. Okay, number 3 is you're going to write your post. You're actually going to sit down, whether you need to, compare certain products or whether you're just, giving your opinion or it's really research driven, you're actually going to sit down and write it out. Number 4 is you're going to take photos. So that takes some time, whether you need to get product ready or it's photos of yourself. You're going to have to take some time to actually take those photos. Number 5 is you're going to have to add it and format it to your blog. So I never write my blog posts within my blog to start. I will write them in a Google Doc and then I will transfer them and format them into my blog. I highly recommend this because then you always have a backup copy in case something actually happens when you are formatting and it doesn't save in your blog. I've had this happen multiple times to me where I thought I saved a blog post and it didn't save for whatever reason, and then I had to rewrite it all over again. It was tragic. So I highly recommend writing it somewhere else first and then transferring it to your blog. Okay, next you're going to add affiliate links wherever they are appropriate and needed. Add those affiliate links in. Then you're going to make your Pinterest image and add that to your blog post as well. This really helps people. It makes it super easy for them to share your blog post when they are able just to share that pin. And then lastly, you're going to create your table of contents. This makes it so easy for the reader to navigate through your blog post if you have it broken down into sections with a table of contents. So for example, if they're wanting to read just about a certain section, they can go straight to that just by clicking on the table of contents and it will take them right to that certain section. So as you can see, there's a lot of components to actually creating a blog post. It's not just sitting down and writing for an hour, but it's actually really being really strategic and thoughtful about what you're writing, because then your post is actually going to have a better chance of ranking in Google. And like I always tell people, you want your content to be quality over quantity. You could be writing 3 posts a week, but it doesn't matter if your posts are not quality and they're just a bunch of words on a page. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no SEO. There's no keyword research, in them, or it's not keyword research driven. It's just, words on a page. It's going to do nothing. Instead, you really want to make sure that when you write a post, you have sat down, thought all this through and done those components I just talked about So that way you have a better chance of actually ranking and making sure that this post can get out to people, eyeballs. That's what we want. So after hearing all of that and the different components that you need to include in a blog post, you can then think about how much time do I actually have then to, do all of those things? How long is it going to take me to write a blog post? Is it going to take me an hour to do keyword research? Will I need, this much time to actually write the post? Obviously, all the posts are different depending on what you're talking about. Some posts are more research driven and are going to take you a lot more time. I have blog posts that I've written that are probably like 40 plus hours, of time that I put into that one blog post because I needed to speak with a professional or, someone specific, or I had to spend a lot more time, reading through research or different things. So just look at the post and kind of figure out how much time you think it's going to take you just to know the knowledge itself. Some posts are a lot easier because you only need to give your opinion about certain products. So kind of figure that out. But then from there, just know that you have to include those components I talked about, whether it's, you still have to do your keyword research. You're still going to have to create your content outline and take the photos and all of that. So from there, kind of figure out how much time you think it's going to take you to actually create all of those components and create them in a blog. And then you'll know what you can commit to as far as how often you should be blogging. Maybe that's just one time a week. You know that you have 6 hours to commit to a blog. Great, then commit those 6 hours to writing one really great quality blog post. Just think, in a year, you'll have over 50 blog posts you've written if you can commit to just one blog post a year. And if you're writing really good quality content, like I mentioned, that is going to pay high dividends compared to writing 2 blog posts per week and not having them be that great. The key, like I said, is quality. Really, really good quality, juicy content that SEO or that Google is going to look at and reward you for it. And one of the biggest reasons I wanted to mention on why it's so important to be consistent with what you commit to is because of Google. So for instance, if you commit to blogging once a week, then you are going to build up a rapport, like a library, if you want to say, in Google's eyes of all this content that is based on one subject, one niche. So say you're focused on clean beauty like I am, or clean living. So I constantly am just posting about the same thing over and over and over. And Google knows me as a clean living, clean beauty blogger. They recognize my content now because I've been blogging about it for over 7 years. That's what I post about. I don't post about, motorcycles or photography or something. I post about, living clean and clean beauty. And so it recognizes me as an authority, as an expert. So they're giving me more precedence over other people because I am an authority. They see me as an authority. But if you are not consistent with posting your content, Google is not going to reward you and not going to see you as an authority or an expert within your niche if you're only blogging once a month or once every couple months. It doesn't give it enough time to, really see that you're serious and that you have all this content, that you've built up that is all about one topic. So I highly encourage you to be consistent just for that fact that Google will reward you and will see you as an expert the more consistent you're blogging about a certain niche or certain topic. It will reward you for that because it sees you as an authority, and you want to be an authority in your space because then, they will give you credit for that, and basically your SEO will be boosted. So I highly recommend being consistent, not only for yourself, for your own growth and to see, just your blog growth in general, but also because Google will reward you for that when you are consistent and will see you as an authority. Okay, I hope this video was helpful when thinking about how often you should blog. Be sure to like it and subscribe below if you like this type of content. I'm going to be coming out with more videos, and I'm so excited to keep sharing about my blogging journey and help you on yours. Side note, we are staying at the beach at a condo, and so if you guys see like a different background, it's because we are away on a little getaway, my husband and I, and so that's why it looks a little different.